Welcome to Chin Up and Rise, the show that's all about empowering women to lift their heads high and rise to their full potential. I'm your host, Chinny, and I'm excited to bring you inspiring stories, valuable insights, and actionable strategies that will help you take control of your life and achieve your biggest dreams. We have with us a remarkable woman today, Jin, a senior teacher, a mother, and a netballer. Jin is a true master of multitasking and knows firsthand how challenging it can be to balance work and personal life. She holds multiple hats in her life and does everything to maximum efficiency. But Jin is no stranger to challenges. Growing up, she had to endure multiple setbacks and discrimination against her due to her family background. However, Jin refused to let these obstacles define her, and she persevered through hard work and determination. Despite being subjected to unfair treatment in the system, Jin did not give up, but instead transformed these thoughts and energy into opportunities for her to excel to become who she is today. Now, today, Jin is a successful senior teacher, a loving mother, and a dedicated netballer. Her ability to juggle multiple roles and responsibilities with grace and efficiency is truly inspiring. We are excited to learn more about Jin's insanely strong mindset and resilience, as well as her ability to juggle all these different roles she plays while excelling in them. So let us give a warm welcome to Jin and let us get started. Hi Jin, welcome to the set.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jean. Thank you, Chinny, for the wonderful introduction.
Okay, so understand that growing up you did face a few difficulties here and there. Would you like to give our audience a little brief introduction of actually what you went through?
Okay, so I start with my childhood first. So basically, when I grew up, I have very vivid memory of my dad right now. But if I were to remember one thing about him is the number of times that we got hit by him, be it by the cane or by belt. So we know that is a family violence, but at that age, when I was experiencing that, I didn't know what it meant. So I thought that it's like I did something wrong or I'm not good enough. So often than not, I would wonder what can I do better as a younger daughter in the house. I often felt that there must be something that I could have done more to support the family. So many of times my dad would actually give us money to buy cigarette for him at that point in time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to like run down, get cigarette for him, run out. And I felt that if I don't go back at a certain timing, maybe he will get angry and then he will scold us again. When he get drunk, he doesn't think very wisely, so he will end up beating my mom and my sis as well. So in the family itself, I strive to do well in my studies, so hoping to do the family proud, thinking that by doing better, it means that I will not be condoned to such actions. But I was also wrong because I realized that no matter what I do, I will still end up getting hit by my dad also.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
So if that were to sum up, I think my childhood, that memory of my dad was a bit confused figured. Yeah.
Okay. So how, having an abusive dad like that, right? How did that affect you when you actually go to school?
It was very difficult. I think I don't just remember him for hitting me, but because I also have fond memory of him buying yummy, delicious stuff home when he wins money, when he gambles. So he wins a lot of money, then he come back and he brought a lot of like nice food for us. Sometimes when he has in good mood because he wins some money. So going to school, he sent us to school at times in the morning. And I remember when my classmate found out that my dad went to jail because of an offense that he did when I was primary 5, I think 11 years old. So there was a period of time where I felt very condemned by my classmates. So people started calling me names, like really bad names, and they were very nasty towards me. And I have occasion where I have to run away from my class because I just feel like going into isolation because I feel that nobody understands how I really felt at the point in time. So many point in time, I feel that it's better not to speak up, better not to say anything because anything is spoken can be deemed as wrong also. So I was considered very introvert when I was younger. It was till much later that I opened out, and to be where I am today is long journey.
Yes, I mean, from the day I knew Jean until today, I would have never thought that she actually went through something like that. And I really cannot imagine you as an introverted person. Yeah, so it goes to say that, it goes to show that wow, you really have come a long way and many things has changed for the better, of course.
Oh, I couldn't pass my oral for the fact that I couldn't even open my mouth to articulate some words. So I was always given remarks as very quiet, very quiet student. So I realized that all the remarks that I read for the past 6 years in primary school was like nothing much to write about me because basically I just don't talk much.
Okay. Thank you for sharing because I believe that a lot of us out there might be facing similar situation and they might feel the same way. So for those of us who are actually feeling the same way, right? As the Jean you are now, is there a message that you actually want to give to the younger you or like to people who might be facing a similar situation?
I guess during that period of time when I was really very down and had no one to turn to because even for my mom, I felt that she was going through a lot and I didn't want to stress her more. So all I could do was to go to a corner and then play like chessboard game by myself to try to like find a person to talk to, but there was no one. So it's like an invisible person that I spoke to. So if I had an opportunity to talk to my younger self, I would definitely wish that at the point in time I learned to open up more because I know that deep down there are people around us who care about us and who is willing to help you. So if you are willing to take the first step to be vulnerable enough to even show the other side of you, to ask for help, there is someone there to listen. It could be a trusted adult, it could be a teacher, it could be your best friend, someone that you just need a listening ear to. Sometimes we don't need them to give us a perfect answer, we just need someone to listen to. And there is someone just needs to you. You just have to take that bold step to one step forward.
So I mean, in your life, right, having been subjected to that kind of situation growing up, was there a particular person or figure in your life who managed to bring you out of whatever you were actually facing?
My coach in secondary school. Yeah.
Coach. So netball coach, right?
Yes, that's right.
So
as I was sharing with Chin the other time was my secondary school coach gave me an opportunity to take the court because I was training for 3 years in primary school in netball. I didn't have a chance to go on court because I was too quiet. So the coach felt that, primary school coach felt that I couldn't communicate with the team because I don't know how to talk to them.
yeah.
And I was always sitting at the side watching and cheering them on quietly, like clapping, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I am confident on taking the court, but at the same time, because I don't talk much, so I didn't have the opportunity to step on the court until once in primary school, some of the main players got injured and then I got a chance to step on the court for that 1 minute.
My time to shine.
I don't even know what I was doing, but at the end of that 1 minute, my teacher said that I did well. Whether or not I did well or not, I really couldn't understand or apprehend at that point in time, but that was like, wow, after 3 years, that 1 minute on court. Okay. So is that really what I want? I wasn't sure. So when I went to secondary school, so happened that the secondary school that I went to was top 4 in the East Zone for netball. And then I was asking myself, am I good enough? So the question always came back to me whether if I'm good enough. Like maybe I'm just not cut for this because for 3 years I got only like that 1 minute.
Yeah.
So I still went for the trial because it was a very popular sports among girls. So I thought, okay, just the last chance. Like maybe something may happen. And I was set 1. I remembered the coach giving me a nickname called the Bulldog because I ran everywhere
like crazy.
Because I didn't know what to do. I just ran. I didn't talk, but I just ran, and I was going for every single ball or any loose ball that I see. I just went for the ball, and that caught his attention.
Yes.
And because of that, he decided that he wants to take me in for the set 2 junior. I think that's called Seagulls. So 10 of the players was set 2, and I was 2 of the set 1 who got into the team.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but of course as a reserve.
Oh yeah, of course lah. But still, being 2 of the only set 1s to actually get in the team, I think it's very remarkable.
Yeah, I was very happy because I was like, maybe I actually can get into the team. Like given the fact that I was only a reserve for 3 years in primary school and I only had the 1 minute of fame. And then I went to a secondary school and now I got into the team.
Yeah.
Again, as a reserve. So for that whole year, I also didn't have an opportunity to play much, but somehow because of the faith and the trust that the coach gave me, it allowed me to dare to try to go further. He gave me an opportunity to train more. He had like extra training for me. He knows about my family background. He didn't ostracize me. He didn't say that because of my dad, you cannot come for netball. He even gave me some allowance support, like when I needed help to eat during because our training is on 3 times a week. So on Saturdays when we come to training, like sometimes I don't even have breakfast, I just go for training. So he will actually buy me some bread to eat. So I remember those things that he did for me, and that changed my life.
Wow. Okay. Is that the reason why you went on and became a teacher?
I was inspired, definitely. I love sports since young. I started since primary 4, 10 years old. And I wouldn't say that it was just because of the incident, but that definitely spurred me on to wanting to become a person who can impact the younger life. I believe that if someone can do something at a younger age, it can actually change the value of a child from young, which is the reason why I chose to take part in this, to take this role as a teacher to hopefully help the future generation.
Okay. So being a mother yourself, right? What do you think, what role do you think a teacher plays in your children's life versus being a mother or a father?
Talking about that, right? It's always a mother's skill. Like we always often, for many teachers, in fact, they will always feel that we spend our whole time in school taking care of other children. By the time we reach home, we are drained and we are tired. We don't have energy for our own child. So I feel that as a teacher, we can do a lot, but ultimately the parents play a very important role to ensure that they have a good relationship with the child, so that they will translate that daily actions to school also. As a parent, we often think that teacher will be the one to help me with education, will be the one to teach them the basic values and everything. But a teacher is not a super person. He can't do anything, or he or she can't do anything if the parents are not supportive enough. So being a mother and a teacher now, I know the difficulties a teacher face. I also know the challenges a mom face. And I feel that both are equally important to help a child shape he or her future.
So what are some of the difficulties as a teacher you actually face, and same for being a mom lah?
As a teacher, I think the biggest problem when we have with a child is when we don't get the support from the parents.
Okay.
For example, like if a child is struggling in terms of the ability to open out to certain friends, it is very difficult for us to know what happened to that child if the parents is not willing to let us know what happened back home.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the child fully if the child is not willing to open up to us. And that can only come in when the parents give us some information and when the child starts to trust us. If a child comes in with very open-minded and willing to learn and willing to get help, it's a lot easier. It's like going to see a doctor at the clinic. You ask for medicine, you take medicine regularly, of course you'll recover. But you go and see a doctor not believing that the medicine can help you, it's as good as nothing can help that person. Same for the teacher. We can't help if the child doesn't want to get help. So when we go to parents and ask them, is there anything we can do? Is there anything? And the parent can't telling us that, no, actually at home, he's super good and he's super helpful and all that. But coming to school, suddenly he go a totally different person or character. Or when we tell the parents that the child is getting into fights with another child, and then the parent will tell me that, I don't think so. I think my child will never do that. My child will. So it's a very defensive mode, and that is something that is very difficult for us as teachers to get across to parents when we want them to know that we are not here to complain about the child, but instead we are actually trying to work with them to help them to help the child better.
Okay.
If as a mom, I think the biggest struggle is trying to understand how my baby is feeling. Because being a first-time mom to baby J, he's 20 months old now, really very cute and adorable, but at times he can drive me crazy like last night. So he will scream and shout at 2 a.m. last night for no reason. make him milk, he doesn't want to drink milk. Carry him, then he want to go there, bring him there, and he say no, and you just don't know what's wrong with him, and feeling very helpless because you don't understand baby language at that age, like 20 months, they can't really tell you exactly what they want. So you know that you cannot lose patience, and even at that age, if I were to just hit him, he wouldn't understand, and it won't translate to anything positive.
Right.
So all I could do was just to show him a lot of patience, to tell him that it's okay to feel lousy, or if he's feeling pain, mommy is here for you whenever you're ready. Then you can go back to sleep. But of course, at the point at 2 a.m., it was very challenging because both me and my husband have to work. And that struggle of having to juggle work and child and training, sometimes it can be a lot crazy that I think.
Correct. So how do you handle it when you feel very overwhelmed by all these things, right? Because I'm just being a full-time financial consultant and being a daughter to my mom, I'm really feeling a bit crazy. How do I manage this and that, right? So how do you manage your time and juggle all these different roles, and switch whenever you need to switch proper?
I'm not an angel as well, so I have my flaws. There are times where I lose my patience, but I guess what really helped me is whenever I get upset over certain things or really angry or lose my patience, I will just give myself time to pause and breathe. That just 10 seconds to pause and breathe is a miracle, because sometimes we just need to find the right word to say rather than saying the wrong thing at the impulse moment. So I'll just pause at that moment, no matter how noisy, how drama things can be. I just pause for that moment and tell myself to breathe and calm down and just pray about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think prayer definitely work for those who believe in God. But if you don't, I guess just taking a step to stop and breathe it works wonder even for kids in school when they are angry and they have their moments. We will always tell them to just go to a corner, find a place that you feel more comfortable, breathe, count to 10 if that works for you. Yeah. And slowly you give yourself some energy and time to rethink the action. What could have been better? What is my end goal? So a good way that I learned is solution focus is looking at what I want to achieve rather than what the problem is. So if I know that my end goal is I want to be happy, keep focusing on the problem and what happened and all that, right? It will not help to solve, because sometimes things happen for a reason. You may just argue over a meal, like I want to eat this and he wants to eat that. Very small thing. So if your solution is I just want to be happy, then you shouldn't deal with that problem of who want to eat what and what you want to have. So it can be a small thing or a big thing, but if you focus on the end point that, okay, I want to be happy, then you count back the steps and what are the ways that I can do to make myself happy. Then you know the solution to it and how that makes you feel. That will give you the direction of exactly where to go about to do.
Okay, so when we are dealing with this kind of situation, first thing first is to take a step back, take maybe 10 seconds, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, however long you need to calm down, collect your thoughts, right? And the second one is to find your happy place.
Yes.
Right.
I wouldn't say 1 day. Okay, for me personally, I recommend that not to let things go overnight, because when you let things go overnight, chances are both parties will not want to talk about it anymore. Or you will pretend that nothing has happened, and when that bottled up over time, you may become more problems. So I will try to make sure that no matter how angry I may be, I will try to resolve things within the day itself. So just have to pause and take a step back, like you mentioned, and also finding things that will keep me more positive and happy.
So during a fight, right, between couples,
yes,
who normally is the one saying sorry first?
Oh, it's hard. I realized that it's not about saying sorry. Sometimes both parties don't even have to say sorry.
Okay.
My husband knows it after a while. I told him many times, actually all I need was an apology. But I realized that sometimes it is hard for men especially to lower down their ego or pride or situation that to say sorry. And sometimes I told him, women can be very unreasonable, and all we want to hear is just a sorry. You just have to say sorry, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then again, sometimes sorry is not enough, because after saying sorry, we will tend to ask the person, why do you say sorry for? And then the partner or the person will just get, I already say sorry, and that's not enough. So they will get even more frustrated, because they feel that by saying sorry, you should solve the problem, but you didn't, because we wanted a reason for the sorry.
Yes. Okay, guilty.
So what works for me and my husband is, I told him my love language is I just need a hug. So even how angry I am, never let me walk off alone.
Oh my gosh, I have a similar one to that.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how angry or no matter how much we're fighting, my rule is that never ever walk in front of me
Okay.
when we are outside. That's something that I really hold dear to, and my fiance respects lah. Yeah.
I think both parties had to work on rules that both of you understand and respect.
Yes.
And follow through it, because that works for both parties. Especially like for your case, you would never want him to walk ahead of you, because walking ahead of you may mean that he's walking away from you and make you feel unwanted. Like for my case is, I just want him to know that even though I'm angry, I still love him, and I just need that hug to assure me that I'm not alone. That even though he can be saying all the nasty things, but the heart will tell me that that was the moment he needs, and I just need that assurance that he is still here.
Yeah. Wow, I think that's a really great advice for the couples out there. And so, I mean, communication is definitely key, right? Letting each other know what is your love language, and what actually sort of 消气, meaning how to say,
Cool down.
cool down, helps to cool down your anger, your temperament, and it will work lah. So each and every couple works differently, whether it be basis words or basis physical touch. Yeah, that's the only way that we can actually keep our relationship alive and to make sure that everyone's happy, right?
I agree. Because everyone is different. Like some people, they say that they like a lot of words of affirmation, but when you're angry, no matter
you just diam lah.
whatever the person say, you just cannot even accept. So the word of affirmation to me at the point in time just doesn't work at all. But maybe it may work for you or another person, I don't know. But I guess for me, it's just that touch, that hand, even just holding my hand and tell me that here I am, right? It's good enough. So I will just tell myself that yes, he may not have apologized, but he had humbled himself to take that first step to actually help my hand or to give me that hug, is because he actually cared for me. It may take him longer or even years for him finally to take that one step to say sorry for the action. But I guess that why do you have to keep forcing it upon him when it's not his strength also? So I guess when you're a couple, if you can figure things out together, then you realize that actually this never a one way to a solution. There are multiple ways to a solution, and ultimately is pressure between the two of you.
Understand. Well, no wonder you and your husband are in a very, very good relationship right now.
Very thankful. I'm very thankful.
But okay, actually going back a little bit to netball, growing up, you didn't have it the easiest, correct?
Yeah.
So it's easily, some people actually use that as an excuse, to where they actually end up today, because they didn't have a fair opportunity, or that when they were growing up, they weren't treated fairly. So that's why in life they are not where they want to be. So you're actually known for your grit and your perseverance. So how do you actually not let yourself be submitted to the unfair treatment in the system, and to be like that, but achieve success as to who you are today?
I always look back, and I always, even till now, I give my credit to my mom. Like when I look at her, the amount of things that she's doing for the family, like how she has to struggle between managing us and her relationship with my dad back then. I know that she sacrificed a lot for us, taking multiple jobs just to support the family, and giving up her happiness for us, as well as like her sisters, because she's the oldest in the family. So she actually had to give up her study at a young age just to support her family back then also. So I know that like if I were to be led astray at a young age, right, I know my mom will have a hard time. Yeah. And I just know that I need to be that person to step out and do something about it rather than complaining about how the world is unfair. And in this world, nothing is fair in the first place. So just being unhappy all the time, I know that I have a choice to make it right for myself and my family, which is my mom at point in time. So I felt that when things go wrong, instead of asking if I'm good enough, ask myself what could I have done better to help. So for me, it was about making sure that I do more to make my mom proud. So I studied really hard just to make sure that I can self-finance myself to a university because I know the family couldn't support. I work extra hard because I know that I want to give my mom a better life because of all the struggles I have seen her through. At times, people close to me will tell me that I'm very hard on myself and that like I don't get help from others. Why am I so hard on myself? I should like just take a break, don't do anything and just chill, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess like because of the situation that I put in, it allowed me to become stronger than who I thought I could be and allow me to be more grateful about life. So I felt that because I could have been going to the wrong direction where my dad went, I was able to see much more clearer that that is not what I want to end up to be. And I want to make a stand that I have the right to be where I want to be, as long as I fight hard for it.
So it's taking that right to choose back to your own court.
Yes, definitely. And instead of saying that I fought hard for netball, I felt that netball gave me a life because at the point when I was lost and I didn't know how to voice out for myself, netball gave me a voice to perform on court. When I was able to take the court as a captain and lead the team to the zonal finals, having a lot of the audience and friends to come down to support the school coming down to the finals. The whole hall felt filled with audience and spectators, people cheering for you when they don't even know who you are. I guess that to me was my voice on court. It gave me a chance to know that there's something that I can be good at and something worth fighting for.
Wow. Okay, that was very inspiring. Yeah, because I think it's not easy. So I mean, like wherever that I hear, you basically channel all this, transform all this negativity that you were actually receiving in life or whatever, and you actually transform them into opportunities, into areas where you can actually strive and excel in. Yeah, so that's actually really, really very amazing. And I believe that that's what a lot of our viewers will actually be more than happy to listen to. Yeah.
So be it like young children, I guess sometimes we have goals, but we are not sure how to achieve. So I will tell the same for my students or even my young children that always ask yourself who I want to be remembered for a few years down the road, or even 10 years down the road, or when you grow up. So what do you want to be remembered for? That's the question I ask my students all the time. So I say that, do you want to be remembered for getting the top grades in school, being the smarter kid in class, or you want to be someone who has been remembered for very helpful, show a kind act, lift someone when the person is down? Then I ask myself the question is, if I have a choice, I want to be remembered for someone who have helped others.
Definitely. She has helped a lot of people. She's actually very, very, very generous. Like, you know, some of the things that I listen to her, her story that she shares. Yeah, Jade is really very, very out there to actually help others whenever they actually need a helping hand.
Thank you. So that to me like is the most important thing, because people will not remember how many 100 marks you get in your exams at the end of like 5 years or 10 years down the road, but they will definitely remember that one kind act that you did that you may not even remember, but that feeling that you give the person, that hope, that help that you give that person will translate or change the life of someone that you don't even remember.
Yeah, just like your
Coach.
secondary coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still keep in contact with him?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Even till
okay.
now.
That's nice.
So like last year we have a closure of the secondary school that I was at. So we were invited to go back to the secondary school and he was there and I still tell him like how thankful I am to be where I am today. He also congratulated me when I went into the nationals because I credit all my success in netball in my work career to him. Even when I went for interview, I shared a lot about him. Even till now, like any opportunity that I have, if anyone would ask me about someone who have made a difference in my life, it would definitely be him.
Wow, okay. So if you guys want to actually inspire some lives, being a teacher is a good way to go.
I agree. It's not an easy job. You must have passion for young children and you must have a lot of patience
Yeah.
and understand that teaching is not just teaching alone. You have admin work to do, you have a holistic pathway to help, but the end goal is because you believe in making a difference in someone's life.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so before we end, do you have any message that you would like to share with your baby at home? Or someone in particular?
Maybe my husband. I don't think I shared how much I appreciate you enough, but I'm very thankful for having you in my life. Even though I share with you every day that I love you, I do love you a lot. At times, even when I anger you and make you feel that you may not feel important, but I want you to know that having Jay in our life, going through the daily life together with you, really makes me very happy, and I'm a happy woman because of you.
Nice. Oh, thank you for that sweet message. Hopefully your husband has caught it.
Hopefully.
maybe he can give you some tissue when he watches it lah. Then he can the tears away from it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Actually, one last question lah. So for those people who are actually juggling full time and who are soon to be mothers, right? Do you have any tips or like any things that you can actually share with them in preparation of motherhood?
Being a first time mom, I was never told how challenging it can be having to wake up at wee hours. But I just believe that the process is worth every single second of your time because the amount of time that you can spend with your precious one is that few years. And you will never be able to look back and say that you regret because you will be very thankful that you have that special one with you. And even at times when you feel tired or you feel that you are not good enough, remember to take a break and know that you are enough.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Jean. And we have come to the end of our show. Yeah. So once again, thank you for gracing our set and sharing your stories with us today.
Thank you for having me and thank you for listening to my story.
Okay. Bye. See you.
Bye.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Chin Up and Rise. We have also collated the key pointers of today's episodes. All you can do is actually click the link down below to have access to all this. And you can also follow us on the social media handles down below for more content and update. Before you go, do remember to give us a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.